Welcome back to Birmingham View Television, where we're going to talk more politics with Major Click, and we're going to talk about the congressional race that Artur Davis, maybe had he stayed where he was, he'd be okay. But now that seat is open, and it's been basically two women have made the runoff, which is historic in and of itself, with Terry Sewell and Sheila Smoot. With the resounding defeat that Artur Davis experienced, what does that mean for the candidate who's going to come behind him? What do you think about that?
This person's going to have to reach out to the community. They're going to have to connect with the base, and I think that's what Congressman Davis failed to do in his gubernatorial bid. And so they're going to have to go into the black belt. That's what he did so brilliantly throughout his congressional career.
He did.
He fell short on that last night. And so I think really they're going to have to reach into the community, say what they're going to do. I mean, a clear message. And we've seen Terry already start to do that. Terry said, you know, health care is a right, not a fight with the commercial.
That's right.
And so Sheila's got to clearly define her message. Sheila's obviously well known in Jefferson County, and she did a great job in this campaigning, a very vigorous campaign on her part. So it's going to be who can establish the message and what the message is and get it out to people in 6 weeks. It's going to be a mad dash to the finish.
It is going to be a mad dash, and I think that the health care is going to be primary. But you know, some years ago, in 2002, the Birmingham News did a story about the Black Belt, Alabama's third world country, and I think that's what Artur Davis, when he re-established himself after losing the first time to Earl Hilliard, he came back and said, you know, I'm going to be the one who solves the problems in the Black Belt. I'm going to be the one who comes in and deals this blow to the poverty that's been crippling this area for so long. And then he turns right around and votes against the health care situation.
To his credit, he did some things. I mean, he did Initiative 7. He certainly was proactive. Until the health care vote, I think most people in his congressional district were pretty happy with his record.
Yeah, he ran without any.
And he would probably run unopposed if he had run for the congressional seat.
He would have, probably. But the thing of it is, though, it's like people felt that he had turned his back on them, and I think that was unforgivable. I mean, like I said, black people are very forgiving. If they can vote for, you know, get George Wallace back in office after he, you know, asked for forgiveness, they'll let anybody in. And I don't necessarily discount Artur Davis's future, and we'll maybe get to that in a second. But you talk about connecting with the voters. You know, how do you do that? You have a Harvard-educated woman. You have a woman who also went to Michigan State. Both are very well educated, but maybe people are a little bit leery now about who to trust. And how do you think they need to play that? How to play themselves to that constituency?
They have to play their roots in the community. Sheila's been around this community a long time. People know Sheila back from her days at Fox 6 when she was 6 on your side. So they see Sheila as a fighter. Sheila's seen as an advocate. She's seen as a spokeswoman of the community, and that's how she's established herself. With that said, Sheila has hurt herself by being connected to Jefferson County. We all know the situation Jefferson County is in. The sewer crisis is a crisis in every aspect of the word. Terry's been very articulate. She's been very good at conveying her message. She's classmates with Michelle Obama. Terry's obviously very connected in the Washington establishment. They helped fund this campaign in large part from some out-of-state money that was crucial in getting her message out and getting the media campaign that she did.
And she's also from Selma, so she's got her own roots in the community. So she's known in that sense. But you know, I think one of the things that really hurts in terms of Artur's loss is that the seniority that he had built up. And being on the House Ways and Means Committee, I mean, it will take years for another congressman, even from this district, to kind of come up to the level where they can be in a position to even bring money and resources back to the district. Or, you know, maybe this is a time when you have a person who's a fighter, like, you know, Sheila, who's known for 6 on your side. And maybe it's good to have a person like Terry who's got the connections to the Obama administration, because maybe they can pull some of the monies down. So then what is it that you think, I mean, the bingo thing, all those things are kind of real big issues right now, but what is it that you think that they're going to have to do to separate themselves?
Well, on a national level, you're looking at it's a contrast in styles, I think, clearly between Terry and Sheila. Terry's more of a consensus builder. Sheila is a street fighter, and that's the reputation she's built. And so it depends on what they want someone to go to Washington and fight like hell and fight for what she thinks is right. That's what they're going to get in Sheila. And Terry, they're going to get someone who's is going to attempt to reach across party lines. She's going to go out into the community and build coalitions. It depends. And the next 2 years are going to be so crucial to this president and his agenda. Because the situation we're in 2 wars, a national economy, the crisis in the Gulf, there's so many issues. Whoever steps into this seat has got a full deck already. And
they're going to have to know how to handle the situation. So, you know, with Terry not having had any political experience, is that going to hurt her or help her in this situation?
You know, I don't know, because I think Terry, the remarkable job Terry has done in this campaign is building a name ID for herself. Because probably if you had asked people a year ago who Terry Sewell is, probably outside of Selma, no one would have known who Terry Sewell was, no more than they would know who I am.
I didn't know you, Major. Come on.
Only because of you, Vickii. So I think Terry's going to have to see what her message is. What is her message other than health care is a right, not a fight? Okay, health care, the legislation's been passed, the president signed it, she obviously supports it. Okay, Terry, let's move on. Economically, what are you going to do to create jobs? This district needs jobs desperately. The poverty is tremendous. This job is faced with a crisis in terms of 2 wars. There's a lot of soldiers from this district fighting overseas because that was the only way they saw out of getting out of the poverty they came out of this district. The crisis in the Gulf is affecting this country and this state specifically with having a Gulf Coast region. So So it's going to be, what are her issues? How does she plan to get those to Washington? And can she, well, we know she'll work across party lines, but is that what the district wants, or do they want?
Or do they want a street fighter? You know, they want somebody who's going to go in and kick in doors and just bring it home. But so with Terry's political inexperience being maybe her downfall, but Sheila's political experience and the negative and the baggage that brings with it.
Exactly. And Sheila's got a track record, good or bad. People know where Sheila stands, and people either love or hate Sheila. Sheila's one of those personalities in politics, much like former Mayor Langford. People seem to have a strong opinion. I rarely meet someone who says, I don't have any comment on Sheila Smoot. People say, I know Sheila and I love her, or I can't stand Sheila, she needs to go home. And so, and that's kind of, it's fascinating to see these two different personalities and who the district wants. Because I think in former Congressman Hilliard, he was a bit more of a street fighter. Artur tried to be a consensus builder. And then he tried to establish his own identity. And your point is well taken about the Ways and Means Committee. I mean, people like or dislike Dick Shelby. The job he has done being on the Ways and Means Committee, the money that's been brought to Alabama as a result of that, it's incredible.
Incredible.
And so, I mean, that was a catastrophic loss to lose his representative, lose him as a representative in Congress.
And somebody on that level in Congress, too.
Absolutely.
So if you had to call the race today, who would you call it? What would you think?
I think it's tight. I think Terry probably edges it out, just because of the fact that Terry seems to have unlimited resources from all. I mean, she has one of her earliest endorsements was Emily's List, which is a pro-women's group, which is going to be interesting to see. Are they going to continue supporting her in the runoff, or do they sit out now that they have two women? It's historic either way you go.
Yeah, it really is.
The thing is, if it goes nasty, you have to give the edge to Sheila, because Sheila will fight and Sheila will get in the dirt and she'll do what she has to win to get her message across. But I think it's Terry's race to lose at this point by a slight margin.
By a slight margin. We shall see if you prognosticated correctly.
If I didn't, don't hold it against me.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Anyway, we thank you for joining us on Birmingham View Television. We'll be back with Sheila Smoot, one of the candidates in the race. Birmingham View Television will be right back.